Hey, this is Darin Kidd, and thank you for joining and on the different platforms, depending on which one you're watching, because right now we're broadcasting on Facebook, we're broadcasting on YouTube and Periscope/Twitter, which Periscope, if you're watching this on Periscope, just know that it's going away. I believe today may be the last day, then it's going to be Twitter Live. But each week, what I'm doing is I'm working to bring you content that can help you with, tips and strategies and techniques to help you get to where you want to be sooner than later, to help you compress time frames and help shorten that learning curve. So do me a favor as you join. It's always good for me and the audience that's watching every week to see where you're watching from. Oops, let me hide that. And so let me know where you're watching from, what city, what state, what province in Canada, what country. And I hope your weather is better than our weather today here in Virginia. It has been torrential rains. And, some of you laugh about me not having any hair, right? And days like today, I'm laughing at the ones that do have hair because they're all worried about their hair messing up, but not me. I'm having a good time, right? It's just beating off my head and I wipe it off. But hopefully the weather is better where you are than it is where I am. But let me ask you a quick question. All right. Do you ever feel unmotivated? Right? Where you just feel stuck. You just can't. You're like, man, if I could just get a little bit of motivation, then I would be able to do what I want to do in my business and in my life. Motivation just doesn't affect our business. It affects every aspect of our life. Hey, Lisa, appreciate you sharing, liking, and sharing. And hey, Sophia from Bulgaria, thanks for joining. Barati from India. All right, Sharon from South Africa. Wow, it's awesome to see people from all over the world that are plugging in. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. And most people are not willing to jump on a training, even if it's live, to be able to grow themselves. And the best investment you can ever make is invest in yourself. And so what I want to do today, we're going to get straight into the content. I'm trying to keep these as short and as compact as I possibly can. And let me know if you have an aha moment in the comments. Let me know if, man, that's something that I needed to hear. Or you can go ahead and smash that heart button if you have an aha moment and you're enjoying the content and getting value. Now, tips to get motivated. I'm going to give you 5 of my top tips. And these are tips not just that I've researched, not just that I studied. These are tips that I actually use myself. And they have made a massive difference in my business because people, have they ever reached out to you? Have you ever had someone do this and they go, man, if you can just keep me motivated, can you call me every day and wake me up, and can you tuck me in at night and just give me some encouraging words? But it doesn't work. Jim Rohn talked about motivation. It's kind of like taking a shower. Hopefully you just don't take one. So motivation, here's the only type of motivation. So for those of you who are taking notes, this is a great thing to put at the top of your notes, which hopefully all of you are taking your notes, because that spaced repetition, over 50% of what we retain is after the 5th time that we hear it, see it, or read it. After the 5th time. So if you just watch this one time and just take notes once, you're not going to get nearly the amount you're going to get out if you continue to repeat this information over and over and over again. I would recommend, every single week, at least for the next 5 to 7 weeks. And sometimes it's not just that the information is going to be the same, but you are changing and it's going to mean something different to you every time you go back. So the only type of motivation that lasts is personal motivation. Personal motivation. Motivation comes from within. That's the only type that lasts. So if you're ready for me to give you my top 5 tips on how to get motivated and how to stay motivated, let me know. At first, I had a couple more notes for me. Okay, so let me back up a second while you're commenting. At first, motivation, it's pure discipline. You're not going to feel like it. Okay, you're not going to feel like it. It is pure discipline. But when you continue to repeat these habits, or you can continue to repeat these tips, it's going to become a habit. So we create our habits, and then eventually our habits create us. So we continue to do the things no matter how we feel. At first, it is pure discipline. The next thing I wanted to mention to you was a quote that I read a little while ago. It said, energy and motivation are contagious. Either you affect people or you infect people. So good question to ask yourself, right? Empowering questions get empowering answers. Every question gets an answer. It's just a matter if we ask good questions or bad questions. How are you affecting other people or infecting other people when it comes to motivation? Are we positive? Do people look at us as an example, or do they look at us as a warning? Good questions to ask. Here's number one, clarify your reasons. Clarify your reasons for doing what you're doing. When it comes to building your business, I know we have a lot of different people in here that are in many different professions, but when you're building your business and when you help other people, maybe you're getting a new rep started in your business, and a lot of times we go, hey, look, what's your why? They don't even know what that means, right? People in the network marketing space that have been in for a while, yeah, we know what that means, but most people don't because we're not talking their language. But if I sit there and I go, hey, Lisa, quick question, what is the reason? What are the reasons that you joined your business? Lisa, what's most important to you in your life right now? And then she starts sharing those things. And she's going to go, well, Darin, it's my family. And then maybe some of you, you're like, one lady was saying, look, I'm doing this for my child because we've got to get them into a different school system. I've had people share with me, I want to retire my spouse. Their job is killing them. Hey, listen, I'm really passionate about giving to my church or a charity. What is your I will until reason or reasons? What is your NMW? Your no matter what, I will get this done. Everyone else, they can quit on their family. They can quit on their goals and their dreams, but I will never quit on my family. No matter how many times I get knocked down, I'm going to get back up. That's what you're looking for. Spend some time and really clarify that. Clarity gives you focus, and focus gives you energy. Anytime you feel like you are unmotivated, it's because you've lost clarity. If you go, look, I feel burned out, you've lost clarity. Everything goes back to clarity. When you start to dial in that clarity, you will start to have focus. When you have focus, it's going to give you energy. So that's number one, clarify your reasons. Number two, touch your dreams. Touch your dreams. We move in the direction of our expectations. We move in the direction of things that we're familiar with, and that's good or bad. People that are addicted to drama, we produce our own chemicals and drugs. When you think a thought, your body produces certain chemicals and endorphins and let's just say our own drugs. And so we get addicted to our own drugs that we continually produce. And so when we do not have those, and it could be good or bad, it could be, I was looking at, there was a pastor talking about, porn addiction. When they're addicted to porn, what's happening is they're producing these chemicals and endorphins in their mind. They get addicted to that. When someone is addicted to drama, right, and they don't have any drama, they'll create drama so they can get more of those drugs, those natural drugs. So it can work for us or against us. You want to move in the direction of your expectations and what you're familiar with. We want to make sure that those are things that we want, not that we don't want. We want to make sure that we're focusing on where we're going, where we want to go, not where we've been. The key to our future are the repeating patterns. What do we continue to repeat? So the way that you touch your dreams, so you're familiar with them, and now scientists have proven that our brain doesn't know the difference in reality and what we tell it. So when we think a thought, we experience it. So you can experience an experience before you ever experience it. And then we move in that direction. What gets our attention gets us. However you want to say it. What we focus on grows. What we focus on, we attract. It all means pretty much the same thing. So when you touch your dreams, one way to touch your dreams is through visualization. Visualization. I don't want you just to visualize, let's just use, for example, an object. I don't want you to visualize a car or an award, a trophy, or walking across stage. I also want you to visualize how you're going to feel when you achieve that goal, when you achieve that stepping stone. So start to use visualization. Here's an action item. Maybe put an alarm on your phone. If you just do it a couple times a day, maybe in the morning, maybe midday, maybe in the afternoon, and maybe you have a list of 2 or 3 of your top goals or your dreams. and you just close your eyes and spend 30 to 60 seconds visualizing as if you had already achieved it, and all the feelings, write down all the feelings that you're going to have when you accomplish that goal and that dream. What thou seest, thou beest. We magnetize the condition that we seek. Thoughts are things. Your thoughts and your words, when we visualize, that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once again, it's a double-edged sword. It can work for us or against us. So when you're touching your dreams, use visualization. The next thing, create an environment that motivates you. So for me, I'm ordering a backdrop because I know I've got a busy bunch of stuff behind me. And when you're doing live video, it's not good to do that, right? But the reason that I didn't care today, like I was going to go into a different room, is because I want you to see part of my environment. I've got a bottle, a Hawaii bottle right here. This is my wife and I. We went to Turtle Bay and Oahu and on North Shore, and it was absolutely gorgeous. We had a room right on the water. The waves are crashing in, the palm trees, and we could hear all the Hawaiian music, live music playing every single night. And we could go walking through the woods and see all the beautiful turtles and all of these great things. And I'm like, man, we've got to set a goal to come back here often. We've got to bring our family back here. So what I did, this was a water bottle in our room. It's a beautiful water bottle. Prettiest water bottle I've ever seen. I took this water bottle, went out to the beach, and took part of Hawaii back home with me, right? I've got pictures of my wife and I in Hawaii behind me. I've got a Hawaiian playlist. So maybe it's things that stimulate your motivation in your environment, like pictures, like a dream board, like little things like this water bottle with sand from the beach in Hawaii. You know, I've got positive affirmations all over my office, like I do it now. I've got a date that I wrote on my board that said, today is the day I stopped playing to play and I started playing to win. You know, execute, do it now. You have to create an environment of success that motivates you, and only you are the one that knows what's going to motivate you on a daily basis. It's keeping your reasons in front of you that help you stay strong enough, long enough, because very rarely are you ever going to feel like doing what you're doing right now. Most people are not going to see what you see. Most people are going to laugh at you. Most people are going to talk about you behind your back, but that's okay, right? A lot of times you're going to have people that you thought would see what you see. They don't see it. And then you have people that come on board and they say all the right things. And then what do? They quit. They go into the witness protection program. So it's very important that you are laser focused. You're touching your dreams. You're using visualization. You're creating an environment that motivates you. And then another few little bullet points of touching your dreams. Maybe it's a car that you want to drive. Maybe you're like my wife and I, and they repossessed our car. So we had someone that was nice enough to donate a car. It was an 89 Dodge Spirit. It was two-tone. It was blue and rust. Okay, anybody ever had a two-tone car that there was two-tone and one of the tones was rust? Well, that's what this car was. The ceiling was all the lining was coming down, so it looked like we had sombreros on when we were riding around. It had a leak inside the car when it comes to the fumes, so it could be a snowstorm outside, and we'd have to have the windows down. And the kids are like, Dad, we're cold. And I'm like, hey, be quiet. You know, either shut up or we die. You have to leave the windows down or we all die from poisoning, being poisoned by the gas fumes of the car. Like maybe you want that new car. So when I say touch your dreams, do you have it maybe as a screensaver? And it's easy to use a physical object. So we'll just use this as an example. Do you have it as a screensaver? Have you been by? My wife used to get so frustrated because every single weekend we would ride through the parking lot. This has been years ago when I wanted a Lincoln Navigator. And every week she's like, where are we going? I'm like, riding through the parking lot. Every weekend I was just touching my dreams. And then I'd go by and I would sit in the car, and get a picture in the car, smell that new car smell. And eventually I had that car. So maybe it's test driving a car. Maybe it's you have a dream to move to Hawaii. Or for example, my wife and I, we'd love to have a place in Siesta Key, #1 beach in the US, which actually beat out Hawaii several times, white powdery sand, gorgeous water. And so to figure out if we wanted to have a place, We went down and we toured homes. We went to we've been down many times. So we're touching our dreams so that we're familiar with it, knowing if that's what we really want. And it also just seals the deal. Every time it gets us motivated, right, and inspired to go out and do those things we really don't feel like doing. Go to open houses. Maybe you're looking to buy a new home. But what you think affects your motivation. And these are some ways to affect what you think. Number 3, all right, first of all, who's having an aha moment? Who's gotten some tips? Let me see you. Smash that heart button. Share with it. What's your favorite tip so far? Number 1, clarify your reasons. Number 2, touch your dreams. Number 3, move your body. Move your body. Hey, Howard, thanks for joining. And, motion creates emotion. Psychologists have proven it is easier to act our way into a feeling, act our way, instead of feeling our way into acting. There's a lot of things that I don't believe in fake it till you make it. But this is one of those things you can fake it till you make it. You can act motivated. It's raining outside. Okay. It's gloomy. It's dark right now while I'm doing this training. And I was traveling this weekend and I hadn't had a lot of sleep and I didn't have a lot of energy. Can you tell it from this training? Hopefully you can't tell it. But what did I do? I did push-ups and I walked around before I started this live. Because I know that motion creates emotion. Act the way you want to feel. Soon you'll feel the way you act. What does feeling like it have to do with achieving your goals and your dreams? Nothing. Because if we wait until we feel like it, it's never going to happen. Now, moving your body, not only I was looking at research as I was putting this training together, and they're like, look, it improves brain health when you move your body. So maybe before you start working, you just take a 10-minute walk. You do some jumping jacks, you do some stretching, whatever it may be. But not only does it improve brain health, it helps grow and preserve muscles. It helps your bone density. Like there's so many health benefits. Google the health benefits of moving your body. But especially it also helps your focus. So move your body. I've got a little timer that every 25 minutes I'll set it. Right? It's an app that I use called Focus To Do. And I'll set the alarm and I'll have 25 minutes. And when the alarm goes off, I'll walk around and move my body for 5 minutes and then go right back and set it again. And then I have a goal every day of just trying to beat what I normally do. But it helps when you move your body. It helps relieve stress. It improves your mood. Tony Robbins also talked about this at one of his trainings. He said, if you're depressed, what is your posture? Is it standing up straight or is it slumped over? Are you talking loud and excited or is it shallow? Are you moving fast? Are you moving slow? Are you moving like a sloth? But if you're excited and you're energized and you're motivated, how do you work? I mean, how do you move? You stand up straight, your posture is great. Are you taking shallow or deep breaths? You're taking a deep breath. Are you moving fast or slow? You're moving fast. I have found that when I have no energy, if I act as if I do and move my body, all of a sudden I have energy. Tony Robbins, when I was at his event, he goes, what gives you energy? People said, sleep. Nope. You ever had a night where you got no sleep, but you were motivated, had lots of energy? And they gave different things, but that body in motion tends to stay in motion. Act as if. Number 4. All right. I like the way, thank you, Wendy. Some of you are putting my notes on the comments. I really appreciate that. Wendy, you had the same car, a 2-tone Buick Regal. I love it. All right. I love it. Number 4, set up reward goals. Set up reward goals. I don't know if anybody else can relate to this. Let me know if you can relate to this. There was a period of time where when I was working, I always felt guilty that I wasn't with my family. Then when I was with my family, I always felt guilty because I wasn't working. So I was really never in the moment. And I was always feeling guilty. I didn't like that. But when I laser focus and I schedule my, what gets scheduled gets done. And then I set up reward goals. You have to reward yourself. You can't go work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't care if it's 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. If you're going to go on a run, 30, 60, 90-day run, you want to set little things up along the way that reward you and give you a little re-energize you and motivate you to keep pushing. It could be something as simple as, during the week, back when we were going to movies and I see that they're getting ready to open back up, I'm excited about that, right? Every weekend, my wife and I would go on date night. And a lot of those times we would go to a movie. I just love getting my popcorn. I love, working out, exercising, eating healthy as I possibly can throughout the week. But when I go to the movies, it's buttered popcorn, it's peanut M&Ms, right? I love it. And so what I would do is during the week, I was working so hard, but that was kind of my reward goal. A nice dinner, going out to the movies, whatever it may be. So it could be something very simple. Maybe it's once a month. You go out on a date night. Maybe it's at the end of 90 days. You're going on a mini vacation for the weekend. You're taking your family. But you definitely want to set up some reward goals to help you stay charged along the way. Maybe it could be playing video games. I'm not a video game player, but maybe it's video games. Maybe it's Netflixing and chilling. I don't know what it may be, but do that. And then last but not least, number 5, do it now before you feel ready. Do it now before you feel ready. Emerson said, do the thing, then you'll have the power. He didn't say wait for the power and then go do the thing. Very similar to move your body. Motion creates emotion. George Patton said, a good plan violently executed today or now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. Let me repeat that again. Patton said, a good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be on the path. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. I kept putting off starting this live. I'm like, well, I need to change the lighting. Well, I need to look at my notes again. No, I just need to do it. And I jumped on and I'm doing it. You're never going to feel ready. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to feel, very rarely, if you're like me or anyone else I talk to, you're going to feel motivated, but you just want to go out there and do it before you're ready, because we're never ready. It's through messing up. It's through those failures. Failures are never final unless you quit. Failure is our friend. My thing was, look, I want to fail fast and I want to fail forward. So you want to do it now. And, and then that's going to help you continue to stay motivated. And I'll give you one story, or I'll give you one example. This morning, took my kids to school, right? I'm tired. I've got so many things to do, right? Wah. Excuses. And normally I'll go to a coffee shop. It's quiet. I'll go into a corner. I'll pull out all my stuff. I've already planned my day and I start just getting things done. I do not remember the last time that I've actually felt motivated when I got to that coffee shop or to the office that I use or back home in my home office. I don't remember the last time, right? Like it's raining, it's gloomy. But what I do is I know I have my list. I know why I'm doing, what I'm doing. I do the exact same things that I just went over with you. And then what happens? I get into action. I know I have to get into action ASAP. And what that does, as soon as I get into action, once I go through that first 25 minutes, it sets the pace for my entire day. I've got a friend of mine that's made tens of millions in the network marketing space. And one of the biggest lessons I ever learned from him was when I was at his house and I wanted to go, and we got up that morning. Let's go to Starbucks. Let's go to Chick-fil-A. Let's get something to eat. Let's get some coffee. Then let's go crush the day. And he goes, no, we have coffee and food in the kitchen. Go do some work. At that time, it was just phone calls. There was no online social media like this. And I kept procrastinating. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. I didn't feel motivated. And after 2 or 3 times, he told me, get out of my office. Don't come back in here during profit producing time. And I remember going, well, what do you want me to do? I feel overwhelmed. You've got a big team. At that time, I had a little small team when I was in the field. And he's like, go make 5 phone calls. Because at that time, again, no internet. It's different now. You can do 5 things, reach outs or whatever it may be. But I'm like, who am I going to call? He's like, I don't give a rip if you call through the phone book. I don't care if you call strangers. I don't care if you just make up numbers, call your team, call prospects. Just go make 5 phone calls. And I remember thinking, well, that's kind of stupid. You don't care who I'm going to call. You just want me to make 5 calls. And I picked up the phone and it felt like it weighed 500 pounds. It's like when you go to put your hands on your computer first thing in the morning, or you're doing reach outs and you're like, oh my gosh, my hands feel so heavy. But the second phone call, the phone felt lighter. Third, it was lighter. By the fifth call, I went from needing coffee, hungry, unmotivated, to pacing the floor, lots of energy, and it set in motion the rest of my day, because motion creates emotion. So I hope you got some great tips. Do me a favor, if you're live or watching in replay, I'll just recap real quick. Let me know, what was your favorite tip? Number one, clarify your reasons, your I will until reasons, or your NMW, no matter what reasons. Number two, touch your dreams often. And I gave you ways to do that. Number three, move your body. Number four, set up reward goals. And number five, do it now before you feel ready. So as always, I appreciate you tuning in. If you are getting value out of these trainings, whether you're on Facebook, you can tag people in the comments. You can share this with groups of people you think will get value out of it. By the way, on the screen, darinkid.com/3keys, just a simple download with 3 keys to being successful in the network marketing space. You also want to make sure you subscribe and like, depending on which platform you're on, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook. And we're going to continue to bring you value every single week. We've got big announcements coming your way. You are the reason that I do these. Seeing your comments, seeing the value that you're saying that you're getting, you going out and implementing these things and coming back and sending me the messages going, look, I implemented what you taught and here's what it did for me in my life. Here's what it did for our team. And that motivates me. It inspires me to continue on this path. So thank you. And I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you on the next training. Take care.